All right, guys. So it seems like every couple days, right? It seems like we're getting a story about how the Democrats want to low key or maybe even high key take power away from Joe Biden in some way and invest some of that power in Kamala Harris. Okay. And to me personally, I just think that this is a part of the plan. Okay. It is the plan to over time start slowly transitioning this administration over to Kamala Harris. Now, it might not be something that's official. It might not be on paper per se, but it may be one of those things where Kamala is really the one that's calling the shots in the background. And it looks like today we have some Democrats who are trying to even give Kamala some say in nuclear attacks, right? Which I think it really blows my mind. Okay. The amount of power that the Democrats seem to be trying to take away from Joe Biden already to a certain extent. So this article right here outlines how dozens of House Democrats want Biden to give up sole authority to launch nuclear weapons, saying that vesting one person with this authority entails real risk. About 36 House Democrats have signed a letter asking President Biden to renounce his sole authority to launch nuclear weapons, according to reports. A promise from the president to give up his nuclear capabilities as commander-in-chief could take the same power away from future presidents. That's an interesting line because, again, when I opened up this video, I'm implying that, this could be about transitioning power over to Kamala, right? That's one theory. But also another theory as well that I think probably is equally as valid is that, one of the main lines of attacks that Democrats had against President Trump was that President Trump was so unhinged that he should not have access to the nuclear codes, right? There's, Trump got the nuclear codes. It's the end of the world. He's so irresponsible. But push come to shove, nothing happened, right? Like everybody knew nothing was going to happen. So this could be about Trump, right? Low key. Quote, vesting one person with this authority entails real risk. The letter from Representative Jimmy Panetta, Democrat from California, and obtained by Politico reads, quote, past presidents have threatened to attack other countries with nuclear weapons or exhibit behavior that caused other officials to express concern about the president's judgment. Panetta's office did not immediately respond to an inquiry from Fox News. The congressman said in a Monday tweet that he is quote, calling on Biden to install checks and balances in our nuclear command and control structure. The letter continues, while any president would presumably consult with advisors before ordering a nuclear attack, there is no requirement to do so. The military is obligated to carry out the order if they assess it is legal under the laws of war. Under the current posture of U.S. nuclear forces, that attack would happen in minutes. Democrats offered some alternative to sole nuclear authority, such as requiring the vice president and the House Speaker to agree with the launch order from the president before it is executed, according to Politico. Right? So, again, that's the other angle to this that I opened up this video with, is that they want to give some authority to Kamala Harris and to Nancy Pelosi. Right? Essentially, the Democrats are so woke that they want to hand over the nuclear codes to, the vice president, who's a black woman, right, allegedly, and the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, who's also a woman, okay? So they want to hand over nuclear codes to them and take them out of Joe Biden's hand, so it seems. Presidents have continuously passed down a briefcase containing all the necessary materials to dial up a nuclear strike using a specific code, often referred to as the nuclear football. Democrats previously expressed concern with former President Trump having access to such power. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in January, for example, said she spoke with Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, about protecting nuclear codes from an unhinged president. Pelosi said she spoke to Milley on January 5th, quote, to discuss available precautions for preventing an unstable president from initiating military hostilities or accessing the launch codes and ordering nuclear strike. The football was passed over a long distance when Biden took office after Trump because the former president did not attend the new president's inaugurations. It is usually handed off between presidents on inauguration day. All right. So, no surprises from Pelosi here, right? She's been trying to limit executive authority for a long time. I think back in October, she tried to basically modify the 25th Amendment, right, to try to get a vice president more power to overthrow the president. That's a summary of essentially what she tried to do, right? And to me, this kind of concerns me. Because, it seems that the Speaker of the House, who technically is third in line, right, in terms of the presidential succession, seems to be in a position where she is determined to kind of undercut Joe Biden, right, to a certain extent when it comes to certain issues, right? And, the excuse before was Trump, right? That was the excuse. But it's not like they've stopped doing this ever since they knew Biden was going to take office. And after he took office, okay, it's almost like they think Biden is their useful idiot, right? Which is probably what they actually do think, okay? And we've also seen, like I've covered before, Kamala now starting to take phone calls from foreign leaders, phone calls that Biden should be handling. Biden's taking days off while Kamala is, still working, still, basically running the show. This is just one of many stories, small stories that seem to be indicating that we're heading in some direction where Kamala is going to get a lot more power. Now, in terms of, do I agree with the nuclear codes, more hands in the pot in regards to the ability to launch them? No, I don't. Right. And the reason why is because any sane president is going to consult with advisors before they launch the nuclear codes. And you don't need that many hands in the pot. Why? Because when it comes to, God forbid, we get into some type of nuclear exchange with another country, you only got minutes, right? Seconds to react, right? It could be the difference between literally having our whole country destroyed and survival. Okay? So you don't have time to call up Kamala to be like, do you approve of this? Or to call up Nancy Pelosi and be like, do you approve of this? Right, before you need to make a decision. Okay, this is not one of those things where having a ton of levels of bureaucracy is good, right, for national defense, in my opinion. But I'm not a national defense expert, obviously, right? I could be wrong on this. But again, these are interesting developments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is just another kind of trick from the Democrats to take more power from Biden? Or do you think that, this is something that is about, a check and balance issue? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. Most important, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.